In your opinion, what are some ideas that you have to offer to the people in the community that will promote a positive lifestyle and positive future for the young generation?
One idea that I've been thinking about is powwow practices to teach young children basic steps.
What can I offer?
What are some ideas?
Probably my experience, actually. I have a really, I have a strong background actually in governance, finance, and management and administration. And based on experience, actually, I'm also involved in a lot of sports, actually. I'm actually willing to share some of the information, provide the public services that are so needed in our First Nation, in all areas actually. Plus, my background, like I'm into traditional ceremonies. I speak a Cree language fluently, and I take part in all sorts of ceremonies. The more social ones and whatever too, and I know the background actually of a lot of them as well. So,
as an individual, I do talk to, it's mostly the family members, the youth, and I always tell them to finish school, okay, because education is so key. And I talk to my nieces and nephews about waiting on relationships, because some youth, they start families early, and there's more out there for the youth. Like, they can travel, they can continue their education. There's so much to do, it's so broad, and if they just wait on having the family, then I always tell them, finish school first, keep going to school, go get a degree, and even go further if you have to. And then I said, after you're done and you get a job, then you can get married and then you can have kids. I said, in our day, we kind of mixed those up and we mixed them up. So now we're like trying to go back to this list that I said to them. But the good thing is that they do listen. And when they have questions, they'll ask. I think, and they're pretty good because they do listen. And sometimes some of them don't have parents, so that there's nobody there to like tell them, I guess, to tell them what's important. And if they're on the wrong track or going on the wrong path, tell them, speak to them, like, what's wrong? Did something happen? And sometimes, you know what, it's even just the losses. And like, even right now in our community, we're going through so much grief, and all I can do is pray. I pray because like, we've all been through it, had our share of losses, and it's hard. And some people, the only way to cope and to, I guess to cope is to go to alcohol and drugs, but that's not the answer. So, and for me, it's to pray. So, yeah.
Can I say drugs? I think they should stop that, though, you know, really. There's so many deaths already among our young people over that drugs, that hard drugs they're selling around. They're selling them around here too. That should be stopped, because just another kid got beaten to death, you know, and that's not right. And that was Brett's friend. And I got to know that kid. It was hard, like, hearing that. But they should change a lot of stuff. Even that, what do you call that, curfew should come back on, because they walk around all hours of the night. That one guy broke my door on New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. They haven't fixed it yet, so. So, I don't know, there's a lot of changes they need to make for our youth. especially that running around at middle of the night. You know, there's a lot of people are really bad out there. Even my grandson got beaten. He was sleeping in his trailer. So I think they have to really look into that now.
For me, I think Wakohtoin is really important in our community. We need to teach our children about kinship, who they're related to, how they're related, because we're losing a lot of our connections with the younger people. It's so important. They don't teach that in anywhere. You go to these open band meetings, not open band meetings, but open events in our community, like they used to have teachings like the round dances. They used to have elders speak and talk about stuff like that. They don't do that anymore. And that's one of the reasons why I don't attend too many of those functions anymore, because we need to bring back all those teachings into our community.
What are some methods or activities that we can utilize in order to bridge the gap between the elders and the younger generation?
Non-taking one-on-one would be the best. To talk to the youth, see where they come from and what we can help to see their dreams come true.
On a personal basis, I take my granddaughter swimming. So the idea basically is if you do activities that both of you can actually do, like I'm a golfer, I can take her golfing as well. In fact, I've taught them, all my kids, how to drive through using a power cart, and then I teach them how to golf as well. So I think you have to find things that can be done together and whatever, and that'll make it really interesting. I'm also teaching her how to, the protocol, how to behave at feasts and stuff, ceremonies and stuff. And even at a very young age, I tell them I teach them the basic things about our language and our culture. She's a very good Cree speaker. I'm really happy with Mesk teaching Cree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she beats her parents.
I think it's communication. For me, sometimes it is communication, because some of the young people, they don't have like a Mosum and a Kokum anymore. So that's the gap it's missing. But there's elders out there, and they could be utilized, and most of them they have all that knowledge and wisdom. And I think if the youth knew where or who to go talk to, they could and they would. But some youth don't know. They don't even know some things, like what's available out there, the resources. Some kids, when they get to grade 12, like, okay, now what? You can apply for funding. You can keep going to school. Where do you want to go to school? And sometimes I get it. We've all been there where you are at that age and you don't know what program to take, or like, where do I get the funding? Who's going to pay for this? And that's what they don't know. And that's where the people that have all these resources, they need to go to the youth. They need to communicate with them and say, you know what, you're a band member and we can fund you, but you have to finish grade 12 and then apply for this, this, and this. There's kids out there that go to school off reserve, and probably even here, I don't know, but they need to know that what resources are available to them as youth. And it's not just the funding, but like other stuff as well. So, yeah.
It's so important for our elders to stay connected with our younger people. And by saying that, there used to be elders that worked at a daycare. Why were they not kept as staff, as mentors, as educators to teach the kids the Cree language? Kids starting them off young. It would be really good, and to have that, to continue in the education into the school system, the language. It should be really strong in our community. I don't think there's anything, I don't know what they do at the daycares now. I haven't been there in a long time. I don't know if they have any educator, an elder on site, you know, to teach these young people. And that's where it should start, is right from the daycare on into the school system.
I think they should teach the kids, the younger generation, you know, like beasts and stuff, because they don't know what to do, because I've been watching, and, you know, the elders should teach them, you know, how to go about smudging, praying, because none of the kids know anything. Even my brother was working at the school. He said they don't know nothing, these kids, and it's hard.
Everyone is born with special gifts and talents. How can you as an individual help with creating connections with people within the community?
I do a lot of crafts. Maybe I can pass on some of those, how to build regalia. I can do all kinds of parts of the regalia. The only thing I can't do is pork pine roach. I don't know how to do that. But all the rest I can do it. Yeah. Beadwork, leatherwork, bells, bustles, even breastplates.
I think you can't disregard reaching out to people, and I think it works both ways. So the idea basically is, if you the services that are actually provided, they lack in a lot of things. One of them is communication. So what you have to do is you have to personally go out there and provide them with the information that you need, and at the same time get to know each other. And like even a handshake does well, or even just to go there and listen or whatever, people appreciate that. So rather than a telephone call or a text message or whatever, I think the technology actually has all our kids obsessed. Even has my old man obsessed with his phone now. He's always on a phone, and he used to complain about it, but now he's really getting up there. He used to use an old flip phone, and now he's into an iPhone 14, I think. Yeah.
Probably just talking to the people, listening to them. Because sometimes some people, they just want you to listen. They want, and not for the conversation to stay between you and the person, and not for it to go out there. And it's kind of like, it's okay because you get to hear where they're coming from. And then they even ask for prayers. So it's like, that's even a bonus, because then you just get to pray with them. And people, there's lots of people that are broken, like, and it's sad because you hear their stories. And then going out there to sit at the wakes, you see people there too. To go, even just to go and be there, I guess. You don't have to say anything, just go and support them. Because sometimes it means a lot to them, and you don't have to talk or say anything, because just being there, it's just like says something, right? And if you can, when you let them know that you're there, and if they need anything, then like that's okay too. So take food, take water, take whatever. I usually just go, if I can't attend all of them, but I do try. But when I'm sick, I can't go, and I don't go. But lately, there's been so many losses, and it's sad. I think about the kids that are left behind, because now some of them have no parents or no kokum, or So Muscochese needs prayer, but I think I'm talking about anyway. But I think the youth are really, if you talk to them, they'll talk to you. And they'll even ask sometimes the silliest questions. But sometimes when they go through something, people need to listen, because they're trying to tell you something, and you need to just let them know, okay, you know what, you need to do this, or go see this one. They'll help you. Even the summer student program, some of the people off reserve didn't know that there was a summer student program and they could work. And I said, yeah, just go apply at the NEA. And that's where I'm talking about communication. I think the people that hold, like that deal with the youth, they need to do more. Like, I get it, even across the street, it's being held as like a wake center now, which is sad because there's no programs available for the kids where that's where they're supposed to go to when they want to go play, whatever. But yeah.
I'm a Cree language speaker. I don't write the Cree language, but I speak fluently. I can say I speak fluently. And we really need to bring that language back into our community so the kids can understand, our community can understand. And stories are told and understood better when they're spoken in the Cree language. It's more meaningful. If you tell a joke, it's more hilarious if you speak it in Cree. So that's one of my main concerns, is our language is dying off real quick. And we need to revive it. Even the people that I work with in my area, they're 30, 40 years old. They don't even understand some of the words that I use, but I do it because they need to understand. They need to get themselves educated in that area. And I'm grateful that the college is offering those courses as well.
Probably talk to the young ladies, young girls that are becoming women, and how to behave and what not to do when it's their time, because they don't know either, any of that. Because I know.